The second part of section 8.9 discusses the discriminant. The discriminant is used not to solve a quadratic equation. It is simply to tell you how many possible answers you can have. The only three possibilities you can have is you can have 2 answers, 1 answer, or 0 answers, and that would be a no solution question. So you're only going to use this when they want to know how many answers there are going to be. If they ask you to solve an equation, you're not going to use the discriminant. You're going to use the full out quadratic equation in order to solve. Now the discriminant is just the part underneath the square root sign. It does not include the square root sign. It is just b squared minus 4ac. And again, this is used to determine how many possible answers you will have. If b squared minus 4ac is positive, you will get 2 answers. If b squared minus 4ac ends up being 0 underneath the square root sign, you're going to have 1 answer. If b squared minus 4ac is negative, you will have 0 answers. So let's do a couple of these examples. Directions will actually give you the heads up that you're going to be using the discriminant when they say find how many answers using the discriminant. So again, you're going to split this up and find out your a value, your b value, and your c value. If the equation that's given is not in that standard form, then rearrange it so it does equal 0 before you get your a, b, and c. So in this first equation, a is 2, b is negative 2, and 3 is c. And again, I am just filling it into b squared minus 4ac. So b is negative 2. Make sure you pay attention to your negative signs. A is 2, and c is 3. So I have 4 minus 8 times 3 is 24. This gives me negative 20. Because it's negative, that if you were to imagine that underneath the square root sign, that would give you no solution. So there are 0 answers to this particular problem. Again, they're not asking me for the answer. The solution is not 0. That is just how many answers there are to this. This one would be a no solution, but the answer to this particular question is that there's 0. My possible answers are 0, 1, and 2. All right, for the second example, A is 1, B is 4, C is 4. All right, so B squared, that's 4 squared, minus 4 times 1 times 4. 16 minus 16 is 0. 0 underneath the square root sign is going to provide you with a 1 answer quadratic equation. And this last one, I have A equals negative, that's my B. A is 1, B is negative 9, and C is positive 4. Why is that going like that? I don't know. There's like a ghost of negative 9 there. It should just be 1. Okay. Now, when I plug this in, I have negative 9 squared minus 4 times 1 times 4. This is 81 minus 16. 81 minus 16 gives me 65. Even if for a second maybe you didn't have a calculator, you were in a rush, 81 minus 16, maybe you didn't know it was exactly 65. Again, you're in a hurry and you had to take the minute, you didn't have a calculator, but you know that whatever it is, 81 minus 16 is going to be something positive. And a positive discriminant is going to produce 2 answers. So my answer is 2.